Hello, and welcome to my channel, where I share amazing facts about technology and cybersecurity. Today, I'm going to reveal the top 10 most notorious hackers of all time, who have hacked into some of the most secure systems and networks in the world. You may think that hacking is a modern phenomenon, but it actually has a long and fascinating history involving some of the most brilliant and controversial minds in the world. Let's get started. Astra. Astra is the code name of a mysterious hacker who was responsible for one of the biggest cases of industrial espionage in history. Astra hacked into the computer systems of Dassault Group, a French company that produces military and civilian aircraft, and stole confidential data and documents related to their products. He then sold them to various countries and organizations, including Pakistan, Iran, China, and Brazil. Astra was active for more than 5 years, from 1998 to 2003, and caused an estimated damage of $360 million to Dassault Group. He was never caught, and his identity remains unknown. Jonathan James. Jonathan James was the first juvenile to be sent to prison for hacking in the United States. He was only 15 years old when he hacked into the networks of NASA, the Department of Defense, and several private companies, and stole software, passwords, and data. He also intercepted thousands of emails, including some from the Pentagon. He claimed that he hacked for fun and curiosity, and not for malicious purposes. He was arrested in 2000 and sentenced to 6 months in prison and 3 years of probation. He committed suicide in 2008 at the age of 24, after being suspected of involvement in another hacking case. Kevin Poulsen. Kevin Poulsen, also known as Dark Dante, was a notorious hacker who specialized in phone hacking or phreaking. He hacked into the phone lines of radio stations and rigged the contests to win prizes, such as cars, cash, and vacations. He also hacked into the FBI database and obtained information about the investigation against him. He was featured on the TV show Unsolved Mysteries and offered a reward for his capture. He was arrested in 1991 after a tip from a viewer and sentenced to 5 years in prison, the longest sentence ever given for hacking at the time. After his release, he became a journalist and a security expert. Michael Calce. Michael Calce, also known as Mafia Boy, was a teenage hacker who launched one of the first and largest distributed denial-of-service (DDoS) attacks in history. He used a network of compromised computers, or a botnet, to flood the websites of major companies, such as Amazon, eBay, CNN, and Yahoo, with fake requests, and cause them to crash or slow down. He claimed that he did it to show off his skills and to challenge the security of the internet. He was arrested in 2000 at the age of 15 and sentenced to 8 months of open custody, 1 year of probation, and restricted internet access. He later wrote a book about his experience and became a cybersecurity consultant. James Ancheta. James Ancheta, also known as Resilient, was a hacker who made money by creating and selling botnets. He infected thousands of computers with malware and used them to launch DDoS attacks, send spam, and click on ads. He also rented his botnets to other hackers and earned up to $60,000 a month. He even hacked into the computers of the U.S. military and compromised their security. He was arrested in 2005 after an undercover operation by the FBI and sentenced to 5 years in prison and $15,000 in restitution. He was the first person to be charged with profiting from botnet. Bevan and Richard Pryce. Matthew Bevan and Richard Pryce, also known as Coogee and DataStream Cowboy, were two British hackers who almost started a war between the US and North Korea. They hacked into the networks of the US Air Force, NASA, and the Pentagon and accessed classified information and documents. They also hacked into the networks of a South Korean research institute and copied nuclear secrets. They then tried to transfer the secrets to the North Korean network, but were detected and stopped by the authorities. They were arrested in 1996 and charged with various offenses, but the charges were later dropped due to lack of evidence and technical difficulties. Albert Gonzalez. Albert Gonzalez, also known as Segvec, was a hacker who masterminded one of the biggest cases of credit card fraud in history. He hacked into the computer systems of several retailers, such as TJX, Barnes & Noble, and OfficeMax, and stole over 170 million credit and debit card numbers. He then sold them to other criminals who used them to make fraudulent purchases. He also created a fake company and laundered his money through it. He was arrested in 2008 after being betrayed by one of his accomplices and sentenced to 20 years in prison, the longest sentence ever given for hacking in the US. Adrian Lamo. Adrian Lamo, also known as the Homeless Hacker, was a hacker who broke into the networks of several high-profile organizations, such as the New York Times, Microsoft, Yahoo, and Google. He did not cause any damage or steal any data, but instead left messages and clues to show his presence. He also reported the security flaws to the companies and offered to help them fix them. He was arrested in 2003 after hacking into the New York Times and accessing their database of personal information and sources. He was sentenced to 6 months of home confinement and 2 years of probation. He later became a controversial figure after he reported Chelsea Manning, a former U.S. Army intelligence analyst, to the authorities for leaking classified documents to WikiLeaks. Anonymous. Anonymous is not a single hacker, but a collective of hackers who share a common ideology and identity. Anonymous got its start in 2003 on 4chan message boards in an unnamed forum. The group exhibits little organization and is loosely focused on the concept of social justice. For example, in 2008, the group took issue with the Church of Scientology and began disabling their websites, thus negatively impacting their search rankings in Google and overwhelming its fax machines with all black images. In March 2008, a group of Anons marched past Scientology centers around the world wearing the now famous Guy Fawkes mask. As noted by The New Yorker, while the FBI and other law enforcement agencies have tracked down some of the group's more prolific members, the lack of any real hierarchy makes it almost impossible to identify or eliminate Anonymous as a whole. Anonymous has been involved in many other hacking campaigns, such as Operation Payback, Operation Tunisia, Operation Egypt, Operation Sony, Operation Antisec, and Operation Mega Upload. They have targeted governments, corporations, institutions, and individuals who they perceive as corrupt, oppressive, or unethical. They have also supported various causes such as freedom of speech, human rights, and internet freedom. Kevin Mitnick. Kevin Mitnick, also known as Condor, was the most wanted hacker in the world before becoming a security consultant, author, and speaker. He started hacking at the age of 12 when he learned how to bypass the bus fare system. He then moved on to hacking phone lines, networks, and computers, using his skills in social engineering or manipulating people into giving him information or access. He hacked into some of the most secure systems and networks in the world, such as Digital Equipment Corporation, Pacific Bell, Nokia, Motorola, Sun Microsystems, and the National Defense Warning System. He also stole software, data, and passwords and intercepted emails and phone calls. He was pursued by the FBI for years and was arrested twice, in 1988 and 1995. He spent a total of 5 years in prison and was released in 2000. He then reinvented himself and became a renowned white-hat hacker, or a hacker who uses his skills for good. He founded his own security firm, Mitnick Security Consulting, and became a chief hacking officer and part owner of Nobi4, a company that offers phishing security awareness training. He also wrote several books, such as The Art of Deception, The Art of Intrusion, Ghost in the Wires, and The Art of Invisibility. He is widely regarded as one of the most influential and famous hackers of all time. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed these top 10 most notorious hackers of all time and learned how they hacked their way into history. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more technology and cybersecurity facts. And don't forget to leave a comment below and tell me what other topics you want me to cover next. Thank you for watching and see you next time.